Hey sis, welcome to Authentic Life. Today, I am going to talk to you about the number one way that you can boost your self-esteem. So what does esteem mean? Esteem means to value, to respect, to honor, to appreciate, to associate a certain level of worth with something. So if I were to ask you to evaluate your level of self-esteem, you would ask yourself questions like, how much do I value myself? How much do I respect myself? How much do I honor myself? What is the level of worth that I associate with myself? You see, self is a word that we throw around very loosely. We throw this word around like it doesn't have a deep meaning. But actually, the word self has a very deep meaning to it. You see, your self is your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. It is the very essence of everything that makes you who you are. And it is very important that we have a high level of esteem for ourselves, because depending on how we feel about ourselves, we will create a life that reflects that. You see, a woman with a high level of self-esteem will put herself in relationships where she is loved, where she is valued, where she is acknowledged, and where her needs are met. This woman will put herself in friendships with people who are loyal to her, people who celebrate her, and people who have her best interests at heart. However, a woman with very low self-esteem will put herself in relationships where she is unhappy, where she is abused, and where she is mistreated. A woman with low self-esteem will put herself in friendships with people who she cannot trust, people who do her harm, and people who do not celebrate who she is. You see, your self-esteem governs the very life that you create for yourself. Did you know that the thoughts you tell yourself and your mind, your self-esteem, what you believe about yourself is so powerful that scientifically it's proven that your thoughts travel from your mind into your body tissue and the organs within your body? Did you know that? This means that you can tell yourself anything you want and your body will respond accordingly and you will create that life for yourself. This is why doctors who are treating patients talk to them and tell them, don't die on me, don't die on me. This is why people in the military, when they're doing physical, hard, rigorous training, say to themselves cadences, don't stop, keep going, you can make it, you can do it, you're a rough, tough soldier. They tell themselves these things because they realize the power of the mind. They realize how important your belief system is. You see, there is a universe within you. There is a world within you, and you're feeding it thoughts all the time. Most of us don't feed the universe within us with powerful and positive thoughts. We feed the universe within us with disempowering and negative thoughts. Most of our inner conversations sound like, you're fat, you're ugly, nobody likes you, you can't do it, who do you think you are? You'll never get chosen for that job. You'll never get chosen for that promotion. Nobody will ever be attracted to you. You're not good enough. Most of us have these internal conversations within ourselves. And this is why we create a life that we don't like. So your self-esteem is the most important thing and you have to protect it. So in this video, I am going to talk to you about the number one way that you can boost your self-esteem, the level of worth that you associate with yourself. When I was young, I did not have a high level of self-esteem. I had a very low level of self-esteem. And that low level of self-esteem derived from the abandonment of my father. I met my father for the first time when I was 18 years old. And because he walked out of my life, I grew up with holes in my emotional self. I had thoughts like, nobody loves me, nobody cares for me, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough. Because in my mind, I thought that if my own biological father will leave me and not love me, then I'm not worthy of being loved. And I went through my childhood believing that I was not good enough. I went through my childhood with these holes within my emotional self. And as I got older, I thought to myself, I said, I'm gonna have to fake it because I don't wanna be figured out. I don't want everybody to know how insecure I am. I would be standing in a room and I would see everybody else around me and think that they were so much better than I was, that they were so much more talented, so much more competent than I was, that they were so much more smarter than I was. So I started to fake it and I overcompensated for my insecurities. And it came off to people very arrogant and prideful. But what they didn't know was that inside of me, I was just a little baby cub trying to make up for my insecurities within myself. And as I got older and I approached my 30s, I thought to myself, I really need to do something about this whole lack of self-esteem thing. It's really time to fix this from the inside out. And I thought to myself about all of the stories that other people had said about me. I thought to myself how my father had abandoned me. I thought to myself how my mother had not affirmed me and how that also caused holes within my emotional self. And then I thought and I said, if these people who are outside of me can create a story and it can be so powerful enough to govern the universe within me to the point where I'm insecure and I have low self-esteem and I lack confidence, then I can create a new story within myself. And that's exactly what I did. I created a new story within myself. If you want to boost your self-esteem, you are going to have to create a new story. You are going to have to change what I like to call your I in. I in means your inner narrative. You see, we all have a conversation going on within ourselves. Most of our conversations are not healthy. Most of our conversations sound something like, everybody hates you. You're not attractive enough, so don't even go on that dating website. Nobody will ever be attracted to you. Nobody will ever date you. Don't even try for that promotion because you'll never get the job. Don't even try to build that business because you'll never be successful. That's what most of our internal narratives sound like. But we have to change that internal narrative to something more positive. And the funny thing is that a lot of women don't even realize that they can change their own internal narrative. You can create this at any time. You can take the stories that people have given you, throw them in the garbage, and write your own story. If your mother never affirmed you, if your father never loved you properly, it is your responsibility to do what they didn't do. It is your responsibility to parent yourself. It is your responsibility for you to write your own story. What's your story going to be? What's the new story that you're going to write for yourself? Are you beautiful? Can you do it? Are you worthy of respect? Are you worthy of a successful and healthy relationship? Are you worthy of high and respectful treatment? It's your story. All you have to do is write it. Take the old story that other people have written about you, throw it in the garbage, and write your own story.